The house we lived in at the time
Ah.
in Sunnydale, probably one of the scariest houses that I've lived in, because we actually have a recording of a background noise, but we sent it to my cousins in Australia to bring out that noise.
Yeah.
And we have a recording. So basically what happened...
Nah,
No, let me
bruh.
tell you what happened. Let me
Oh
tell you
my
what happened to
fuck.
give you context.
I've got mad, actually fucking crazy. Have you guys ever walked alone at night?
Oh, I have a story for you.
Have you ever
I
missioned
have a story
Ah,
for you with that question.
Enlighten me, brother.
So
Enlighten.
last year at the Sevens,
Okay.
I happened to bump into someone that I did not want to bump into. So now remember, the Sevens is in Greenpoint.
Yeah.
I stay Murdoch side, and all of a sudden, this person was part of the plans for the rest of the night. So I didn't want to be involved, but I lost my main phone that day, and I only had my second phone, but the battery died. So
I had my second phone. Brother, what are you doing walking around with two phones in your pocket?
no,
One
because
for the
one
bitches
was
and one for the
one was
dogs.
for like side work, one's my main phone.
Oh, okay, vibes.
So I decided in my drunken state, I'm not gonna stay here, I'm gonna walk home. So from Hudson's in Greenpoint,
No.
I walked all the way to Camps Bay, and then I had a friend who was working at Caprice, and I thought, okay, if I get robbed, I don't want to lose my wallet and stuff. So I dropped my wallet off with her. I said, please keep this on my way home. And I walked around those dodgy areas, like 3 Anchor Bay, where it's dark,
Yes.
just
Yes.
going towards Clifton. Like
Yes.
12 o'clock at night, pitch black dark, walking through there with my pump bottle. I bought a water because I was like, I'm doing this.
Oh, brother, because if you
Man
walk
was
in,
vexed.
if you walk into Nurek, you're gonna need a fucking couple
Proof
of pump
from
bottles.
me.
And no, once you get past that last bus stop.
Yes, yes. On
and
like
then it's
as you
just
take that turn.
dark road to Hout Bay.
Yes.
I got there and I thought, yo, maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe
Was
I should
Uber
turn
buddy.
Brother, it took you to get there before you realized that was a bad idea.
I looked the next day how far it was. Like from Hudson's in Greenpoint.
That's
I walked
far,
all the way to
bruh.
Odacrawl on that other side.
That's cock far.
I broke in my shoes that I had.
That's
could-
cock
it
Your
was
feet
far.
sore.
I was, but I mean, I was at the Sevens. I was
Yeah.
drinking the whole day. Had not eaten properly. I was.
So
Man was
my
vexed.
thing is though, like, if you think about it, right, where you stop from there to Llandudno is a distance. Right?
It's a
Yes.
big distance. Yeah.
It's a distance, but then you go past Imizama Year 2 and all of that as well.
You see,
right?
I wouldn't go that way. I would carry on straight to Chapman's Peak.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have to go past like Imizama Year 2,
You
past
don't have
past the circle there.
No,
or
can
you
go,
could-
you
or
can
you
go
could-
down
yeah,
by
yeah,
the
yeah.
spa.
Oh yes, you could go straight
Past
through
the
Hop Bay
spa,
and then
left
swipe left
before you
there.
go towards the harbour.
But then you hit
Yeah.
Chappies, and then it's
That's
a
a
distance,
take, bruh.
brother.
And then it's the Chappie's ghost you have to deal with.
My bro. And there's a
You-
couple of dead people on Chappies.
What?
So
Excuse me. Wait. What? Chappies ghost?
have you never
Yes.
heard of the Chapman's Peak
No.
ghost?
I haven't heard of the ghost. I just know there's a lot of dead people there.
So I heard about it when I was younger because I used to live in Hout Bay.
Yeah.
We used to travel Chappies a lot when we moved over to Nurdock side. And I was always told about this Chapman's Peak ghost that when you drive and you see this girl in a white dress on the side of the road
Oh, fuck.
Brother.
and she's all alone asking for a lift and people stopped to let her into the car
Yeah.
and she gets into the car and you're driving and you're talking and you asking questions. You know how you'd like
Yeah.
ask
yeah.
general
What are you doing
questions.
here? Like, what the fuck you doing here?
And then eventually she wouldn't respond. And when the drivers would like look in the rearview mirror, because she would always get into the back.
Yeah.
And
What?
when
the
they looked in the
fuck?
rearview mirror, she was gone.
Brother, I would lose.
No.
I would lose my
So-
ankles.
I always heard about this thing and I was always
I got
curious.
goosebumps.
The one day, me and Justin, my brother, it's my younger brother, I don't know, we always just
You're drunk again.
We get drunk.
They get drunk and they go to Chappies.
No, we just go on missions, and the one night we were like, you know what, let's not go home. So we drove to Chappies, but the lookout just above Nuruk, where it's still fine.
Yes.
And I told him about the story because he had never heard about it.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
let's go look for this. And I was like,
Nah.
Just
you know what?
do.
Let's do it.
White people. Brother. White.
They go to danger. Let's go towards it. I wanna.
This is why you guys get a bad review.
I've driven
because
Chappies
you
so many
guys
times at
go
night,
look
but
for
I
the shit.
never thought like, I'm going to see it. So we decided, okay, let's go do this.
Just.
And we started driving along this road, and we're going over Chappies, and I've never seen it. So I was like, you know what, I'll shit myself.
Yeah.
I'm cock scared of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
nah, I hate that
I was
shit.
curious.
Yeah.
So we're driving, and as we take this one corner, a spotted leopard or whatever runs across the road.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
get the biggest fright of my life. I turned
Yeah.
around, I was like,
You
never
nuts,
again, never
bro.
again.
What?
Gone home. While I'm explaining the story to him, an animal runs across the road. It's pitch black. There's no lights on Chappies.
Yeah.
I was cocking.
That's
I
like
would
movie
shit
cucks,
myself.
bro.
I swear to you, ask my brother. He was with me in the car. We cucked outside. I went straight home. Straight home, into bed. Don't want to talk about it.
I got
ever
a
again.
question for you though. Like, what were you expecting to like go and do? Like, once you saw what you were wanting to see, like, what was the plan after that? Or
Were you
did you
gonna
guys
stop?
think that? Did you guys not think that far?
We didn't. We
They just
thought-
wanted to see this
I
guy.
just wanted to know if the story's true because I don't believe in that stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super scared of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I had to see a ghost, I would drop down and die.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I'd
know
faint,
what to
bro.
do. So I was just like, okay, let's see if this is true.
I've got
Never
I've
again.
got
Never
so
again.
there's also another ghost story like that, right? And it's along do you know where by Constantia Eitzig? You got right next to it there's the stone church. Now on that bend there's like you'll see the cross there, and there's a
Yes.
story about a little girl also. I think she passed away in an accident there.
Yeah.
And she also like what she apparently does, and I'm getting fucking goosebumps. She walks across the road and then people swerve for her because that's how she passed away. I don't know the full story.
Oh my.
Every
fuck.
time I drive past it at night, I'm like, please God, not me tonight. Like, not me tonight.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So the scary thing is when we got home, my brother started YouTubing all these things, and he actually saw that exact story that you're talking
Is
about.
it?
And he was like, dude, he has the same, like similar story. It's like, I don't want to see it.
Nah, fuck.
I want to go
Ah.
and sleep and forget about it.
Let's see it. Do you
Fuck
have
yeah.
a thing? No.
But I must tell you,
Fuck ghost
I've got a
stories. I
mad,
hate
I've got a
that
mad
shit, bro.
ghost story. Okay, so
I actually have one for you
we're
afterwards.
my aunt stayed in a place in Grassy Park, right?
Mhm.
In an apartment, and like a couple of months after like they moved in and everything was settled down, she told us this story about this lady, right?
Yeah.
That committed suicide from that. It's like third floor, fourth floor on the two, and she jumped off the balcony. But now, basically, what she does is, and this is exactly the same thing she did on that night, is she comes out from the kitchen, right, and then she looks into where my grand's room was when my gran was staying with my aunt. Looks into my grand's room because that's where the kids were sleeping in. Just make sure that they're okay.
Yo.
And then she goes into the other room, looks in there just to make sure that they're okay. And then she walks through the lounge, right? So she'll walk through the lounge. She'll walk out by the back door,
Yeah.
the balcony, and then she just disappears because that's what she apparently did on the night, bro.
I hate this
The
ghost
one
story,
night,
cuz.
right? We decided. I don't know if you've ever played Spooky.
Yes.
Yeah. So we decided to play Spooky. Like, but we like fucking young, bro.
Yes.
Like we're like 12,
It's
13.
such a bad idea.
It's a bad idea
Such a
in a
bad
house
idea.
that you already know is haunted.
Yeah.
Like, but we decided to play it anyway, and we played Spooky, and it wasn't working. So now the lights are off, right? So it's a couch here, there's a chair there, and there's a chair there, right? Myself and my aunt, we're sitting on the couch, right? My cousin is on the chair over there, and my other cousin is on the chair on that side, right? Now we're sitting there, and we didn't have matches which is why it wasn't working. So we tried to use something else. I think we tried to use like earbuds or something like that, and it just wasn't working. So we like eventually we got fed up with the shit after like 10 minutes. We're like, this is not working. So my aunt decides, but this is like middle of the night, bro. She decides to go, all right, well, let's do this then. Spooky, if you hear like move something, like show us your presence, brother. There was, I'm not gonna lie, like a little, like the table set up that where Renier is sitting now, but like a round table with like 4 chairs around it, right? Chair moves, brother, but you hear it move across the floor.
I'm out of
No.
that house.
Oh my
Bro, I will
god,
faint.
I'm out
bro!
of that house.
I'm sitting on the chair. I want to jump up, right? But my cousin jumps from that side, and other cousin jumps from that side. All 4 of us on the couch, just holding one another, holding one another tight, bro. So what did we decide?
I will hide behind everyone. Fuck man, push
everyone in front.
everyone can laugh.
Bro,
Fight for that guy.
now,
bro.
like while we're sitting on the couch holding one another, we realized like we can't just stay here. Like we need to go to bed. But now, my grand's in her room dosing. We're all sleeping like in the bed with my aunt, right? We want to go to bed, bro. We're all holding one another, going to bed, like literally holding on one another, walking. We get into the bed. Now it's like literally around about the time where this woman does her thing, right?
Way.
So now we're chilling. Now the way we would sleep, I don't know, you will know in the colored family when you're sleeping over, you have people that sleep at the head of the bed.
Yes.
I don't know if you will know this, then you get the foot in.
Yes, the
Yes,
exactly.
I've slept in the ends as well.
Exactly. I didn't know whether you know the term the foot end, because that is the term. We're sleeping at the foot end. And my cousin, he had a pen on him from earlier, right? But now we're all calming down, like from this mad excitement.
Yes.
Everything's chilling.
Excitement.
We're still,
Just
but we're still
relax.
on edge. So my cousin next to me, he chucks the pen against the cupboard. Bro, as he chucks the pen against the cupboard, everybody jumps up. The thing is, he threw the pen. I knew he threw the pen, but we were cock scared as well. We jumped up and we ran into my grand's bedroom. My gran is snoring. Laat het goed gaan. We all jump on my gran. My gran wakes up. She's like, what the fuck? Somebody's trying to kill me. What the fuck's going on here? Bro, that was the maddest night ever.
And did you see her doing her rounds that night?
No. There was one night where the thing is though, like, I don't know whether I actually saw shit or whether it's just because I've been made aware of it. So now I'm projecting cuck.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm pretty sure one night so my gran, I mean, she's fat. Let's just put it that way, right? She's no. Like, I'm not being disrespectful, but in terms of me as a 12-year-old kid, like sleeping behind her, she's wider than what I am, right?
Yeah, well, you 12.
So and I would always, because I
say bigger, not she's fat.
but she is though. Like I'm not gonna. She is. So I would, and because I was scared of cuck like that, I would always like lay behind her.
Yeah.
Right? So the one night I was laying me under, and I'm sleeping. And for some other reason, I just woke up, but like, why as fuck? And I was like, why the fuck am I waking up? And then also something told me, just poke your head up like from behind her.
Nah,
and I did that, and I saw, and I was like, nah, brother,
That's
never.
never. Gaat slaap.
I said, I said,
Look up again.
You don't look.
I woke up my grand because I was like, I can't do this alone right now. I said, and I call her Mama. So I said, Mama. She's like, what? I'm like, Mama, listen. I saw something, brother. I saw something.
No, bro. I hate shit like
Luckily,
that.
soon after that, my aunt moved up. But like after that, I couldn't sleep there anymore, bro.
No, fuck.
That freaked me the fuck out.
I had something recent that actually happened to me that I did not expect.
You see, now I thought ghost stories were like 2020 and before. Now you're talking about recent settings.
So
blood.
I went to a quiz night in Camps Bay, and Kaylin came with me to the quiz night.
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving home, but we didn't take that beach road. We came over the mountain M3 way.
Yeah.
And as we're coming down, like just before Weinberg Hill, but coming from Claremont side, you know that steep hill with a bend where there's few accidents.
Yes.
We would come down that
Kind
road.
of one of my cousins died there.
Oh,
Yo,
Yeah.
that's deep.
No,
dude.
no,
Just like-
I didn't. I don't know her. Like, I didn't know her. I went to a funeral, and she was in a taxi that was coming down the hill too fast,
yeah.
and instead of
Because that
turning,
corner is
went
very
straight
it's
through
quite
and
sharp.
into the wall, and
Shit.
she passed away.
Oh,
And then I went
that's
to a
hectic.
funeral, and then I found out like that she
That was
passed
that
away.
Yo.
Like that.
corner.
That's on that corner. But yeah, carry on. Sorry to.
Sure, you're right.
That's it is deep, but
That was
Yeah.
deep,
yeah,
blood.
it is deep.
So anyway, we were coming down that corner.
Yeah.
No, you just diverted.
Because I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You said you didn't know her, so I don't know if I'm gonna say, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm
you-
sorry.
No.
But like,
Just
That's it, yo.
so anyway.
your cousin's gonna spook me. But when you were mentioning that you get goosebumps,
Yeah,
it reminded me of this that happened a couple months ago.
yeah.
That I also get goosebumps every time I drive down that road now, because I was driving down that road, but I like to get home quickly. So
Yes.
I was in front,
Yeah.
had my brights on,
Yeah.
and as you get past that turn, the sharp turn, and you go down where you can see the turn off to the Weinberg, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden someone appears in the middle of the road.
Oh,
Boom.
my goose.
And Kaylin was with me, and I had my brights on so I could see ahead, but it just popped out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and I swerved because I got the biggest fright,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What was that?" And there were a few cars behind me,
Yeah.
but when I looked in my review mirrors, there was no one there,
No,
and this
brother.
person looked pale, but was dressed in white, but like pale. And
Nah.
Kaylin saw it as well. So I knew I wasn't going crazy. And I still asked her, "Did you just see that?" Because I'm just driving, relaxed, listening to music, and then boom, appeared out of nowhere. And I
What?
swerved. Every time I drive down that road now,
But
I
isn't
get
there-
goosebumps.
Isn't there people that live on the side there?
That's what I also thought. But when I was thinking of it, this person looked too pale to
Yeah.
be an actual person.
Yeah.
And like dressed in all white. Surely I would have seen you. I had
Yeah.
my brights on.
Bro,
I could see quite far ahead because there was no cars in front of me. You
Yeah,
know, how
yeah.
if there's a car in front of you,
Yeah.
it distorts your.
Yeah.
There was no one in front of me, and it just popped out of
Oh,
nowhere, and we
Jesus.
both got the biggest fright of our lives.
That's fucking
Fuck
intense.
that.
And we're like, whoa! And every time I drive down there now, and I usually drive there at night because I come from my
Yes.
clients late
Yeah.
at night. I get goosebumps.
Fuck
when I drive
that
down
shit.
Can I
place.
freak you guys the fuck out?
don't
Yeah,
say
just-
anything about Oakups.
Yo,
I
please,
need
'cause we
to
must
fucking
drive
go
away
over
home.
there.
No.
There's you drive. I'm close
That's
my
it.
eyes.
This is not about a cause, but this is, I swear on my life, this is an experience I had when I was younger. My wife even knows about this cack, right? So, there was a house that we stayed in Alphen Village, right?
Mhm.
And
In Constantia.
no. This is in Alphendale, just sort of basically Heathfield. Call it Heathfield.
Okay.
All right.
Growing up, and
Oh, that's down the road.
yeah. And mad cuck always used to happen like to me in that house, right? Like, I don't know, shit was just wild. There were some interesting things like found in the garden and cuck like that, right? But I don't even want to. I'm scared to even bring it up sometimes because I
You
don't
don't
want to
wanna
go
be
back to that.
reminded.
Like, yeah. But right, there was this something that used to freak me out every fucking night in that house. Like every night, I used to have like wild experience, like sweats and like I could always feel there was something in that house, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not telling a fucking word of a lie, right? The one night, right, I'm laying in bed, right, and every time this whatever it is like would enter, I would literally, I can feel the heat, like it's giving off heat, like heat, like, and if it touches me like here, this would like be
What?
heat, like on fire, like that's the type
That's
of
the
shit that,
devil, my bro.
brother.
You were
Listen,
committing sins.
nah, I was just scombling.
in the
Nah,
suki.
but it's wild like that.
For the lotion.
Like it was, I could feel that like it was an intense something that wasn't liquor there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this particular night was the wildest night of my life, and not a word of a lie.
Don't tell your wife that. Huh?
No,
No,
no.
Not the wild.
No, nothing compares to this shit. Right? I don't think that there'll ever be anything that compares to this shit. Is what I would do is at that moment where I could feel something,
Yes.
I would cover my head with a blanket, right?
I still do shit like that.
And no, I don't anymore. Like that's what I realized. Your fear is what brings that shit on. But like I would cover my head and I would just lay still and just pray and hope that
Hope for
this
the best.
motherfucker isn't like ripped me to shreds or whatever. I don't know what the fuck it is. Like I don't know if it's also shit that I'm thinking about that's bringing me to this point.
Yeah.
I don't know whether what is real and what
Did
is
you
not
watch a
real at
lot
this
of like
point.
horror stuff?
No,
when you
I
were
could
younger?
never
Yeah,
because
I
of
hate
cuck like
stuff.
that,
I
Fuck
can't.
through.
I can't.
bro. And I, for some other reason, I'm laying there, and all of a sudden, my blanket's gone.
No.
Brother, my blanket is gone, Sonny. I'm laying
it's
there.
Paranormal activities.
Blanket is gone, brother. I look up. I don't see anything. It's just pitch dark. I'm looking for my blanket.
fuck,
I look down the side. Yeah, there's fuck all. I go to the edge of my bed. But now my door is here. But that's where I don't want to be.
You don't want to look.
Don't want to
there,
be
bro.
there. But I have to because I can't lay in the open. I'm exposed. Like, without my blanket over me,
The blanket
I'm
protects
exposed,
you.
brother.
Materialistic.
Exactly.
protection.
That thing couldn't get me under that blanket. But
Nothing
that's-
can get you under a
Tonight,
blanket.
bro,
That's the
I go
biggest
to the
protection.
edge of the bed, and this is probably the bravest I've ever been in my life. I fucking walk to the edge or crawl to the edge of my bed. I feel at the bottom of my bed, there's my blanket, like off the footer end. Grab my blanket, I put it over my head. I'm like, fuck this shit. I can't do this shit. And I woke up, right, the next morning again, and I was so fucking, like, I shut myself so much. Like, I went to school and everything, and the whole day I just thought of this cuck that happened the night before, and I was like, is that real? Is that like my dad playing cuck on me, man? Like, what? What the
they
fuck?
won't
Why
do
would he do that?
won't
Like,
do that.
because that's freaky as fuck, bro. I'm not a word of a lie. That night, I didn't want to go sleep. I don't want to switch my light off. I didn't want.
I'll sleep
Fuck,
with the light
man.
on for the rest of my
Yes.
life.
Bro,
TV, everything.
brother.
I have to fall asleep with the TV on.
But-
I can't.
I then ended up like, basically, my parents was like, "Fuck, you gotta go to bed." You know,
Yeah,
you can't
eventually.
not sleep. You know, what
Stay
I'm
awake
saying?
for the rest of your life.
And that night, I felt this entity, whatever it was, come
Again?
Yeah. But immediately after that, like, it moved off, and then I saw this light come down the passageway. But now, this is the fucked up part: is this bright white light that came down the passageway didn't freak me out at all. In fact, it calmed me the fuck down, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And this little girl walks into the room, but I'm not scared of her. I can't see her face. I just see hair. So anything that, like, if you imagine like a scary
This sounds
movie,
like The Grudge.
think about the Grudge or the Ouija movie or and stuff like that. The little girl with the hair, like black hair
Yes.
over her, with a little white dress and shit.
That's scary
That
shit.
should scare the fuck out of you.
It does. I promise you now, I will
didn't-
tuck my pants.
No, it didn't
Futaki.
scare me, and I'll get to the point as to why it didn't scare me. It
That's
calmed
my
me,
fear,
it,
bro.
it calmed me down, right? And this little girl sat on the edge of my bed, right, the whole night with me, the whole night.
And you could see it.
Yes, and I lay down, right?
Uh-uh.
I lay down and I went to bed peacefully sleeping, and she watched over me
Who's this little
that
girl?
night. So this is the fucked up part, right? Is that I told after that thing never bothered me again. Whatever it was, never ever bothered me again, right? And the one day we'd moved out of that house already.
I would have moved out of there
Long
that
ago,
night.
Right.
bro.
God.
We moved into a place in Southfield, right? And my gran had her own flat at the back there. And I was sitting with my gran and I'm telling her the story, and she said, what did this little girl look like? And I explained the way this little girl looked, right? And all of a sudden she started digging through the cupboards, brother. She started digging. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And she takes out this little picture like this, small little picture. And she says, was this the girl? And I said, yeah, that's the girl. Who is that? And she said, that is your aunt that passed away many, many years ago when she was that age.
Nah, you making the hair stand.
That is why.
Yo.
That is why
Nee.
when she came
In this
in,
podcast
I
now.
wasn't.
scared,
I
bro.
wasn't scared. I felt calm
Oh my
because
fuck.
she obviously gave off a calming energy to me,
Yes.
and like there was a connection there that I didn't know
If
about.
I see
but
a
she,
spook, I don't care who it is, I'm bummed.
But this is that's the wild thing. That's what fucked me off, is because I saw this thing coming and I'm like, why am I not scared? Like when it's been darkness, it's been scared. Now I'm actually seeing something,
And you chilled about it.
And you're not even chilled. I literally I saw her and I just went back to sleep. I went to sleep and I was like, that's vibes.
Bro,
and that thing never ever.
for
bothered
me,
again.
like I always I'd sleep. Like I'd always think when I watch scary shit, I'd hardly watch it. I'll sleep and like I'll lie in bed and I'm like, I'll close my eyes and then I'll think to myself, my bro, don't open your eyes.
Don't open your eyes.
Open it now.
I actually
I'll
told
talk to myself.
I told a friend at 3 o'clock this morning, I had a nightmare. I woke up in the middle of the night. I had a nightmare last night. But the best thing
You
to
having
do
all this
is-
recent stuff. Mine's in my past, brother. I'm trying to get away.
No, but
with
this
it.
is the first time I've had a nightmare in ages. But I woke up from it, and the first thing I did, which I never thought I'd ever do, is I opened my eyes and I looked around my room to see if anyone
No,
was there.
you never
I
do
want to
that,
spot you out, because
Just-
when I was younger, I was always like, "Don't look, don't look, don't
Yeah.
look, don't look." Now I looked, I was like, "Nah, I want to see if someone's there, because I'm not going to be able to sleep if I don't." Best believe I turned my PlayStation back on, put Friends on, so I
Yes,
could fall
and
asleep.
then
I
you
need
fall
that background
asleep.
noise.
No.
But
Fuck,
like
bro.
I haven't had a nightmare in years. Last
Yeah.
night I was stuck in a mental.
I'm gonna fucking have one
hospital.
tonight.
Guys, you're going to.
Yes.
You're going to.
Listen, the thing
But
is,
just let us know if you do.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
the one thing. So I had a lot of like shit like that, especially after that vibes that like went through my mind.
Yeah.
And that I thought I felt and thought I saw and whatever. And the one day, I just made a conscious decision like, fuck this. I can't live the rest of my life
In
like
fear.
this. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
you actually
so-
have to. That's why I was like, nah, I'm gonna.
I
If
can't.
someone's there, then they're there. There's nothing I
You
can
must
do about
face it, bro.
And
have
what
to.
and what I did was one night, actually in the new house in Southfield, I was also like feeling shit. Or
Yeah.
my mind's playing tricks on me, whatever. But I got up and I sat up in bed and I started like not like screaming like in fear, but just saying, fuck off. Just fuck off out of here. You're master this. And like my dad gets up and like my dad comes into the room. He's like, he switches the light on. Is everything okay? What's going on? I'm like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm done with this brother. Like this brother keeps touching me and cut. Like fuck off. I've had it now. I just want to sleep, my bro. Like
Those
I'm
guys are like,
sleep
nah, fam, I'm
deprived. Like
out.
I've had enough of this shit. I'm done. And I went to bed. And like every time
That's when
after
they
it.
that,
Since then, nothing.
I would just be like, if I ever felt something, I'd literally just sit up and open my eyes live, sit up and just look.
That's
and
what I
go,
did last
fuck
night.
this shit.
I was like, if
Get
something's
the
there,
fuck out of
something's
here.
there.
Yeah.
Face it.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. So I just looked around. I was like, you know what? There's nothing there. It's all in my mind.
And
is all
that's
in
how
there.
I got over my shit. Because even now, there's some nights where I lay there and I'm like, don't look. And then I'm like, fuck this
Fuck
shit.
this
Look.
look.
If I
Yeah.
look and you there, then you there.
That's-
You
but-
know what I'm saying? Then you there.
So-
What the what?
There at my girl's house, so the alarm will get triggered quite often. And then I'm like, fuck, what if someone's fucking outside?
Yeah.
And then I'd look at the window and I'd be like, nah, man, we'll just go back to sleep.
Don't look.
But then I can't go to sleep and I'm like, nah, fuck this. If
You
there's
have to
someone
look
there,
to,
Yeah.
to
if there's
ease your
someone
mind.
there,
You have
I'm
to.
just gonna fucking say, yeah, you must.
Yeah, you
Then I'd
have
look
to,
out.
brother. You
Bro,
have
then I'd
to.
look out and I'd be like, okay, yo, nothing. Can't I'm cocking myself. Amy would be like, just look. And I'd be like, yo, fuck.
When I was younger, my dad would, if there was ever a noise outside, he was like, just go check.
Nah, brother.
Just go check. The
Sus.
one night we heard some glass broke, but it was the neighbors. They
Nah.
dropped something, but it sounded like it was in our yard. He told me to go check. I opened the door. I stood by the door. I came back inside. Oh no, there's nothing there. Oh, you just, I was walking outside.
Why was
there.
I go towards the danger?
And the house we lived in at the time in Sunnydale, probably one of the scariest houses that I've lived in, because we actually have a recording of a background noise, but we sent it to my cousins in Australia to bring out that noise.
Yeah.
And we have a recording. So basically what happened...
Nah,
No, let me
bruh.
tell you what happened. Let me
Oh
tell you what
my
happened to give you context.
Nee, my house is gesien.
I was at a friend's house, and it was just my two older brothers at home. My parents were out in Hout Bay. And
I'm
my
panic
brother,
tonight, brother.
No, this is when
I'm fucking getting chills, bro, already.
no, phones were still like new, and like, you know, a voice recording on a phone, you can make a voice recording. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So Alex made a voice recording, and he was busy making fun of me in the recording.
Yeah.
But it's just him and my oldest brother at home. There was no electricity, and they'd messaged my parents for electricity, and he was bored. So he thought, okay, he's going to go make a recording just making fun of me. And in the recording, he heard something in the background, and he got a fright. He was like, well, what was that? Because like, there's no one else in the house.
Yeah.
Clark's in the lounge. He's in my mom's ensuite.
Yeah.
And he got a fright, ran out, and he played this thing again. And he heard something in the background. And that's when we sent it off to my cousins in Australia to edit that clip and bring it out.
Yeah.
I swear to you not, you can ask my family for the recording. We have the recording somewhere. But he's busy making fun of me, and in the background, you just hear someone whisper, if you don't go away.
Holy fuck.
That, to me, I was scared in that house. And now my dad tells me to go outside to check if something, when there's a noise, open the door and go back inside. That's probably the scariest thing that I've ever experienced. When he came and he played that thing for me before we even sent it off. To this day, when they brought it back, I listened to it once when my mom played it, when my cousins emailed it back.
That is intense.
To this day, I can't listen to it again because it gives me chills. Like the house I stayed in, there was something there.